Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the House of Commons. I'm LD Demola, and to my left,
And Suchi House of Commons.
I Steele House of Commons.
Pascal Atuma, House of Commons.
there you go.
House of Commons?
You never cheers me.
Hey,
I'm
I'm ready to go to this topic. You know, it's a matter.
You're ready? You're only boiling. Okay.
Today's episode, light-skinned people, are they preferred than dark-skinned people in the black community, African community, society in general?
Wow.
That's big.
Oh, can I
Go
start?
ahead, go ahead.
In the black community as a whole, African everything?
Black community, African community.
Okay, let me start off by saying this. I feel like things are changing, but as of right now, it's really ignorant, you know. And but obviously, the light skin for some reason is preferred more than dark skin. But what I'm noticing now is a shift, you know, and it happens in like waves. When like something like Idris will come or Tyrese will come, then you see girls kind of gravitating towards the chocolate. And then, you know, it will happen in ways. Because when I was younger, it was by light skin. When we were in high school, it was Lil Fizz. It was you know, the light bright. So things have changed. So as, you know, happens in waves, you'll have that. But as far as the men go, it's just, I don't know. I like dark skinned women. I don't see what the issue is, but for some reason, people prefer light skin.
Okay, I'm going to speak from the African perspective on this. From the African perspective, I'll use the Nollywood, Gollywood industry to explain
You're
it.
just diving into it.
Yeah, straight
Yeah, you on it? Okay.
And you said Nollywood.
I'll use the
Bollywood,
Nollywood
Ghanaian.
and Gollywood industry. The Nollywood, Nigerian film industry, the Ghana film industry. I'll use them to answer this one.
Wow.
There's a lot of brothers in the Ghana movie industry and Nigerian film industry that wouldn't have made it in the industry if they were not light skinned.
Seriously?
Yes, I'm going there.
And I agree with you. Cheers.
Yeah,
Cheers, brother.
yeah, I'm telling you.
Are you gonna name them?
I agree.
I'm not gonna
okay.
name names.
Wow.
There's a lot of people out there who are light skinned, both male and female,
Uh-huh.
in the Nigerian film industry, in the Ghana film industry, that cannot act, right? That cannot act to save their lives, but they are stars today because they are light skinned. Because the Africans, for some reason, prefer the light skinned brothers and sisters for some reason, and they glorify light skin. Because if you go on an audition in Nigeria or in Ghana and you are light skinned, you already have an upper hand above someone that's
You have a
dark
foot in the door already.
skin.
Wow.
Have foot in the door.
Wow.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's very, very sad.
Yeah.
Because
You know the reason, Pascal.
what is the reason?
You know it.
I don't
We'll go into all the reasons.
No, I don't know
Let's
the
go
reason.
around with our
Yeah,
explanation.
so in my conclusion, yes.
Conclusion, which conclusion? We just
No.
He said I'm done.
Done.
I'm
End of
finished.
story.
You are done. I
Wow.
feel you.
All right. I think, yeah. Well, it's a fact that society more accepting of the lighter skin, and even in African American community, in African community as a whole, and I think especially in the African community. And I'll give the reasons why. You know, hopefully as we break in, you want me to give it now? I can give it now. I know I am ready.
Go in.
Well, it has a lot to do with the slave mentality back in the days. You know how they say the lighter colors were in-house slaves.
Yeah.
The darker ones were field slaves.
Yeah.
Cheers.
That's the
Yeah.
root of all that. So the lighter your skin was, the closer you are to being with the masters. You identify more to your masters, your slave masters, which is the Caucasian or white, you know, community. And as a whole now, even today, what do we have as a president? Some people say Obama is not an African because if he was not born by mix of
A white mother.
a white mother and an African father,
Yeah.
that his chances would have been very slim, or he would probably not be president. I don't think so, but because I think the man is very intelligent.
I know.
That a lot. You said you know so.
I agree.
Well, so that is the reason why it's more why people choose the lighter skin, over dark skin.
Okay.
So we'll dial
If you
them.
want to go ahead.
Did you go ahead?
He asked
I wanna
you.
go ahead.
Yeah, you can talk.
Yeah, you can.
You asked.
Did you want to bring something in, or?
Yeah, I want to go in and do it.
Oh, hold on.
You want me to
Okay,
go in?
let me get my
Okay,
perspective
okay,
first, and
okay.
you can go ahead.
Okay.
Are lighter skinned people accepted more than dark skinned people in the black community, Yes, foundation-wise, very foundation. The older black people get though, the more they want the darkest chocolate ever, and I'm willing to stand by that. In the African community, light-skinned people are king. In Africa. Period.
Till tomorrow.
Period.
Yeah.
In Africa, light skin is beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't want to say black is ugly in Africa, but
That's what they consider.
that's what they consider
Yeah.
not very beautiful. Hey, you can argue all you want. Check the statistics, it's fact. In the world, I'm just going to give my perspective. I think, and I had to learn this when I grew older,
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much
Chocolate.
I came up with this concept because of this. I say chocolate protein is expensive. I did not realize how much
Yeah.
the rest of the world, people want pitch black.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know how much they wanted
Yeah.
that much chocolate, and I'm talking about anyone that is not, anyone with affluence, right? An affluent individual who's educated or whatever the case may be, but I didn't know how expensive chocolate was until I got older in this society.
Can I I just want to ask one real quick. Because you guys touched on a lot of things that I feel like we know, like about, no, I don't know if they know, but a lot of people we know. What I find very interesting is that for men and women, when you go to places like Norway, you go to Greece, Italy,
India.
you can't step in that place. They will literally pounce on you because you have black skin.
Super black.
Black skin. But for some reason, here in the United States, and then not just the United States, even back home in Nigeria and those in Africa, why is it that it's like this? I know why it is in the United States,
Okay, let me come in.
but why is it like that back home?
Have you heard about a girl called Densia?
I wouldn't really want to mention names now, no?
Oh, this one we have to mention her because she's all over marketing it.
This is an actress you put it on blast now?
Yeah, but it's out
Go
there.
ahead,
She's
man.
the whole news.
She got that Clorox store, she got
No,
that
the
bleach.
one that came up with the bleaching.
Oh, okay, that one, the skin.
The skin,
Okay.
Correct.
Skin condition.
The one that came up with the
Bleach.
she came up with a
Bleaching cream.
solution, bleaching cream.
Bleaching
Yeah,
cream.
to make
Clorox.
And she's so proud of it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I thought
Do you know how many African women spend most of their money
On bleaching.
trying to bleach their body?
I do.
You know, right?
Almost
Right.
70% of them.
You know the funny thing about it is
The
that
brown knuckles.
is that you look at their hands. The hands
that's the dead giveaway.
Yeah.
To people that bleach the finger.
Yeah, you look
the
at their
knuckles,
hands.
I'm
Their hands look very bright. You look at their legs. This side, that people see it look very bright.
Yeah, no,
But if you get a chance, to
No.
see,
No.
cut the camera. If you get a chance to catch them when they are not come out, then you now see that we call them in Nigeria, we call them okukok, Fanta. You know,
Body of Coke, hands of Fanta or something?
that's
Face of
okukok, face of Fanta. That means
The legs,
they-
yeah,
they-
Coke.
they- anywhere that's exposed is black. Anywhere that's not exposed is black.
Would you agree though? I don't mean to say this in a harsh way, but I think personally that's extremely, I don't want to say ugly,
Ignorant.
but it just looks not
No,
good.
I did a movie one time. I'm not gonna mention them with this girl who played in the movie. And then when the camera got, I'm directing the movie. When she put out her hand, I see these black knuckles.
Black knuckles. I'm trying to tell you, black knuckles.
Then I wanted her to wear something, and then I said, okay, I said, I want to cover it back up. I want to just wear.
She was wearing gloves in the swimming pool.
No, she was. I didn't realize how
Well,
bad it looked on
right.
camera, right? And then I didn't want to insult her by
Right,
telling
you
her
have
to
to
use
come up with
makeup
something, yeah.
to brighten everything, make the whole color, like color correction. Yeah, when you come to where you want a color correction somebody's body, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So what am I saying? I think it's very ignorant for people
Yeah,
not to be
man.
proud of who you are, proud of how God created you. I love my skin the way it is. I don't want to change it.
And you know who loves you even better? Light-skinned African Americans.
Jesus
Bye-bye.
is Lord.
Love
Bye-bye.
dark-skinned
Bye-bye.
Jesus is Lord.
They love
Bye-bye.
Jesus is Lord.
light-skinned American females. They go crazy for stuff like that. For dark-skinned men.
No. I think you need to take it a pitch darker. I thought I was black, and I thought I was what they liked.
No, you're very black.
No.
People like this.
They want black,
Yeah.
black.
Let me-
Charcoal
Jacket
black.
black, yeah.
Do you know my friend Sexy Boy? The guy
Oh
from-
my
from-
God.
Right. That is yeah.
He's a sexy boy. If you are a sexy boy walking into a club
Sexy boys getting chick.
in America, before you say hi, sexy boy is already cheated.
With what kind of women? The light skinned women, right?
Correct women.
Light skinned
Okay,
women.
so-
Okay.
Right.
So that
They look at you like
but
your
you
meats.
see, but you see, people don't realize that. But for the women in Africa, they keep saying that the African men prefer light skin, which I don't think so.
I think so.
Most
You think
African
so?
men, I think
I
so.
think so.
Yeah, I think.
From
Yeah, I
light
think.
skin?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, African
That's
men?
why.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why the women are doing the bleaching.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I feel like things are changing though, because I'm starting to and it's the thing about it is it's a lot of, this is the truth. A lot of people it's the way things are marketed sometimes. So the way things are marketed and shifting, when they start promoting more beautiful dark skinned women, men will be like, I like dark skinned women after a while. They start to see beautiful dark skinned women. Because we're not that different. Men and women are not that different. So if you see, if a woman sees a Tyrese, there's this guy. I know a lot of women have seen this guy on social
Instagram,
media.
Yeah, the dude with the
The
like.
dude is literally eating Hershey's chocolate. The guy is as dark as the chocolates. Women are actually literally dying
For this dude.
on their computer, just melting on the computer. So I know that when this market, when you put it out there, it's like, oh my goodness. And now, I hear women nowadays saying, ugh, I can't, he too light, I can't do, he too light, ugh. Like that's the new thing now. So like I said, it happens in waves, things are changing, it's getting better. Idris is, and that's why I love Idris. I tell you all the time, I love Idris because it just reminds me and the world that this is what everybody really wants at the end of the day. Period.
Well, yeah. I mean, we are black men. We're
Okay,
talking
let me
about
just give you that
these
struggle.
things.
Okay.
We're talking about those things,
Okay.
and I know definitely the thing about the whole situation is to be grounded, because this is gonna sound like a conclusion, but it's not a conclusion. It is to be grounded because you have to accept and love who you are, though.
Right.
You have to love who you are because that is one decision that you didn't make. You didn't decide the color of your skin. You did not decide. You were born into the earth to be somebody. So you have to be accepting of who you are, appreciate who you are. But part of our conversation, it's sad that people like this is another reason why someone like Serena Williams makes $10 million less than Maria Sharapova. Because if Serena Williams was, let me say, like Alicia Keys, I think that difference would not be that much.
Oh, of course.
Compared to
Absolutely,
what
absolutely.
Maria
To take
Sharapova
it,
makes.
to take it another step further, the movie 12 Years a Slave, when it was marketed in certain countries, they put Brad Pitt's face
Yeah.
as the lead.
Yeah.
Because,
Wow.
yes,
This was
yes,
on a billboard, right?
yes, and this is a movie about black slaves,
Wow.
so they put Brad Pitt's face on
Well,
the
I
cover
understand
because
that's a
it was-
marketing strategy.
Exactly,
Because
because
Brazil
it's-
is an A-list star, bigger than everybody else
Not
on
just
that,
that, though.
on that,
Not just that. It was also because it is more accepted wherever they were marketing. But I want to say one thing. I want to add a curveball, and I want to see if you guys accept
Uh-oh.
this. Okay. So I think when you hear a lot of the girls who like light-skinned guys, you hear the word cute a lot, right? He's very cute. He's very cute. When you hear the women who
Yeah,
like
I know what you're about to say.
dark-skinned men, he's very handsome, right?
Yeah.
When you see the black dark-skinned men who like, let me just give a perspective. I think going to what it's marketed, I think
Yeah.
the reason why darker-skinned men choose light-skinned women is because it's been marketed that everything light is not only beauty, but is also softer, right? And everything dark is not only
hard.
ugly, but it's hard. So when you see these light-skinned girls who like really dark guys, it's because they represent something very strong. You know, so that's my perspective. And also, let me add another curveball. I said I did not realize how expensive dark chocolate was until, when I was 19, 20, I was still dealing with my peers and, being dark-skinned in high school, it was a
You're dealing
joke.
with a period?
My peers, like the girls that I
Big dark skin in high school was what?
being dark-skinned in high school, being dark-skinned African,
Oh my God.
it was the worst thing you could
God.
be. Because not only did the light-skinned people think you were ugly, so did the dark-skinned girls. They thought you were just ugly, right? And then I got older, and my shoulders started broadening, right? My muscles started coming in.
Okay.
I didn't realize, I'm sorry to say this, women of not black culture or not black skin, it almost feels like they beg
Yeah.
for you. It almost feels like they want you to be the blackest thing they've ever been around.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I think it's because of that strength thing. I don't know what you.
Well, in life, we always want what we don't have. That's one
Yeah,
thing.
Can I go deeper? Can I go deeper into it? I'm sorry.
Oh, you will. Just
I
a
want to
second.
go
You
deeper
will. We
inside.
always want what we don't have because most light-skinned people want dark. Most dark-skinned guys want. It's just like.
So are you
reverse.
trying to say that's why in Africa
Most.
the light skinned people are preferred?
Well, I'll go deeper into that.
Yeah.
I'll go deeper into
Yeah,
that
do it
because
now.
you know why? When I was growing up, I went to school in Nigeria. What you just said, do you know the kids that got all the attention?
Like,
The light skinned kids.
Even more than the light-skinned kids, you know the kids that got the more attention?
White people.
Not even the white, the
Mixed.
mulatto, the mixed kids.
I knew you were about to say that
The
too.
mixed
I
kids.
knew you were about to say that.
Forget it. End of
That's
story.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Whether you had money, whether you had a car, whether your
Yeah.
parents had money or no,
They mixed
all the girls wanted those mixed
Yes,
kids because of their curly. I remember their name. I was terrorized by some mulatto kids when I was growing up. There's
Yeah.
this boy,
That's
Dele. Dele had a Russian mother and a Yoruba father, Nigerian father. Dele's father was a lawyer, his mother was Russian. This boy, every girl wanted Dele because Dele had curly hair, his mix is different.
Yeah.
Wow, there's no, you can't go down, it's end of
You know what's
story.
happening now? Now that I'm sorry, I was going to say that.
Go ahead.
Now people are now like, girls are now slowly getting turned off by that kind of.
Not Nigerian girls, though.
Let me tell you something.
Hey,
Let me one more thing I want to say. No, I want to say one theory. I want to see what y'all think about this. Where did civilization start?
What's your point?
Let me help you.
I think it's
Answer
a
my
rhetorical
question.
question.
Let's ask my
When
question.
you were born.
Where did civilization start? Where did human
they say
civilization
it's Africa.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think that it's partially because of the source that people now it's like let's get back? This is the real, the real source.
What is Boko?
The real source. The meats. The real meats. We're going back to the real, like the real manly. This thing could it be a psychological, biological thing?
Is it why
That we have
is that why it's
the,
switching
the DNA? Yeah, maybe.
No,
I'm just saying it could be. I could be wrong. I could be right. But I'm saying.
Hey, what I need to add on to that is this. I keep going back to the film industry. Right? When you see like the new stars coming up, the light skinned brothers are getting better opportunities than the dark skinned brothers. But you know what baffles me? This is not in America, this is not in Europe, this is in Africa. Right?
Why are we surprised though?
You know why I'm surprised? Because see, me as a movie director, movie producer, I don't cast you because of your looks. I cast you because of your talent.
You tell your skill. What you got? You
Talent, but looks also play a role after talent.
Yeah. Looks also play a role, but that looks that going to play a role is not if you're light or dark.
Okay.
Can I add to what you're saying? Though?
Yes.
And then have you answer a question? You do that because you're a filmmaker. Majority of films that are made are not necessarily made by filmmakers. They're made by studios trying to sell films.
Films, yeah.
Right?
They're trying
So-
to make money.
If they're casting people who are light skinned, that is most likely because
That's
they
what-
know
that's what-
they will sell it faster with the light skinned person in Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, because I'm not saying there are some light skinned people in Africa that can act.
Of course.
I have two of my friends who, even though they're light
This is
skinned,
so sad.
Yeah, they're really good actors. Majid Michelle from Ghana, light skinned
Yeah,
brother.
he's dope. He's dope.
Right, Majid can act his line.
Yeah, he's good.
Ramsey no.
Yeah.
I work with Ramsey. Ramsey can really act. You know, but there's a lot of them I cannot mention their name here because I know that if they're not light skinned, they will not have a career in show business.
But that's it's sad. It's sad, but that's the truth. That's the truth. That's the reality. But it's sad. It's very, very sad.
No.
But
Did you want to say
no,
something?
go ahead.
I want to give a scenario. Sorry. About a month ago, I was at a wedding in Los Angeles, California. It was a wedding between a light skinned
Are we in Atlanta now?
no, in Los Angeles, California. It was a lady, a light-skinned lady, and a dark-skinned man. This was a light-skinned African-American woman, dark-skinned African-American man. I looked at the crowd. I was sitting in the back, and I looked at the bridesmaids of the girl. So all her sisters are also light-skinned. I think they were mixed. They all had on wedding rings or engagement. They had something on their wedding finger. I looked at the women in the crowd, right? And I'm not exaggerating when I say this, who were darker skinned. If out of 30 dark skinned women in this congregation, there were probably 3 that had a wedding ring on, right?
Wow.
That was the reason why I thought about this topic, because I sat back and looked at, okay,
And this is a black
I'll say this.
This is
for
a
my-
black wedding.
This is a black wedding. I'll say this from my perspective. I think the dark-skinned man has more of an advantage long term in society, in relationships, and in just society.
Yeah.
Well, in relationships, I can't say society because society, light-skinned people are more accepted in corporate jobs. It's just the truth. But in relationships, darker-skinned men have more of an advantage because I don't know if it's a fact that it comes with strength, but there's a certain, when you know the value of it, there's a certain pride that comes with it. I don't know if dark-skinned women have that same advantage, or if they have that same fortune. I guess.
Andy, I don't agree with what you just said now.
What?
That dark-skinned men have a longer, over time, in a relationship.
No.
What is
I didn't say
that?
that
I
light
don't
skin. No.
You said
I said
dark-skinned brothers have...
long term we have more of a chance to get in a relationship as dark-skinned men. Men in general
to
have
get in a relationship.
than dark-skinned women do. So we can find partners.
Can I
A dark-skinned man can find a partner.
What
Oh,
you're saying?
okay,
Yeah,
the lighter
Can I say
women-
something?
Should I finish it?
Man.
A dark-skinned man can find a relationship
easier.
easier than a
That-
dark-skinned
that's-
woman.
I agree with
can
that.
Oh,
find.
I see what you're saying.
And
I see
I
what you're
want to add to that, and I'm probably gonna get myself into some big trouble. But, anyways,
It's House of Commons.
this House of Commons.
Go ahead.
I know. I'll just make it easier for myself. I know some women, plural, that are dark skinned, and when it comes to black issues and things like that, there's more of a push for them because they're not just a woman, they're not just black, and they're not just a black woman. They're a dark skinned, chocolate, dark black woman, which is like a different thing in the whole. So it's like I feel like there's an extra push because they themselves have been alienated themselves. So that's in the United States of America where it's still. I'm saying that things have changed, but it hasn't changed like that. We haven't just like that where we're.
You can be honest. The fact of the matter is, there is actually something on the internet. This is not our opinion, by the way, at all. But there's something on the internet that says they've surveyed a group of men of all nationalities, and they say, again, this is not our opinion. You can Google stuff. They've said that dark-skinned women or black women are the least desirable.
You see.
There's actually something out there that they said
Okay,
they've done
but
surveys.
who conducted this survey?
Again,
That's
I
the
don't
truth.
know.
That's true. That's why he's saying.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
But
can we
to-
conclude?
yeah. Let's conclude.
No, wait. To say to add on to what he said,
Yeah.
and I want to make sure that we say this because I know there are a lot of people that are looking for this kind of
Yeah.
answer. Would you agree that dark-skinned women or brown-skinned women have less of a chance of finding a partner than either a light-skinned woman or dark-skinned men?
Let me just.
That's the absolute truth.
It's the truth. Let me say one more thing. It
Because
depends
of
on
the
what
way-
you.
Because of the way the society.
Now.
I'll give you an example. I'll keep going back to Africa. Because even though Africa, a lot of countries in Africa, they are liberated from the colonial masters, they still have a colonial mentality.
Of course.
Word.
Yeah, that's given.
They still have the colonial, they still suffer from the colonial mentality. The reason why I say it is because even if in Nigeria or Ghana or Africa, right, you're looking for a job. You're a female looking for a job, light-skinned female, and a dark-skinned female, and you come through for interviews. If they look through the window, they will take the light-skinned sister in first. Before.
She doesn't even have to interview you most of the time.
Most of the time, she doesn't have an interview, and I think it's a sickness that needs to be stopped because Africa, we're blacks.
Let me.
That's the reason why Africa is called a black
You
nation.
know what I'm noticing though?
You know,
No, I'm noticing that a lot of dark-skinned black women now, a lot of them are now dating outside their race. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to date within your race, a lot of times because of how we are, we're like, a lot of us are like not really on that dark chocolate like that. But some of these white boys are like, hey, I'm down.
Don't say some. A lot.
of these-
And I'm going to be real with you.
They be
Sorry.
own it.
I was in Nigeria. I was in a cyber cafe. A window randomly pops up. A window randomly pops up of somebody from Dubai or India. I think it was Indian, right? this guy's like, okay, I'm ready. I think the person that was there before was a lady on a dating site, right? I did not realize how much, I'm being real, dark-skinned women are appreciated by the people you will not even believe appreciate them.
No, well, that's the truth. Out there, like you know, when I said that we like what we are not,
Woman business
that's
what
pretty
it
much
is.
what it is.
Yeah.
And
What it is,
but it's amazing that yeah, the darker you are, we even for females, we're more. Females are more appreciated by Caucasian people. That's just you know, and or even Caucasian and light skinned brothers. It's sad. My ex is Caucasian. She each time she goes and tans, you know what when she says stuff like this, I'm like, wow. So this is how she thinks. She's like, very soon I'm gonna be darker than you. That's what she said.
That's her goal.
So
That's what she said. To be darker than me. See, she appreciates the blackness that I am.
That's why you.
She's Caucasian.
Yeah, that's why.
See, so it's for the most
It's
time
like it's
they love what you.
Okay.
Most Caucasians want to. Why do they tan? They want to be darker. I've had some people, some coworkers tell me this. I want.
How they want. They're not gonna be that.
We're gonna conclude, but let me just okay, let me just make one thing. Let me just say one thing before we conclude. You guys can counter it. You can conclude right after.
Black
I'm just
is
gonna give absolutely, but I want to say this. I want to put it in parallels. A black, dark-skinned man, right, is appreciated by light-skinned women, white women, and dark-skinned women.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's ego. I don't know, but from what I've seen,
It's not ego.
everybody loves chocolate, right? Now, a black woman, right? We've said she's appreciated by white guys or light-skinned
I
guys.
see guys on white guys. Yeah.
We've said it doesn't seem like they are necessarily appreciated by dark-skinned men, right? For the most part.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think if dark-skinned women were appreciated by dark-skinned men or brown-skinned men or whatever the case may be, do you think they will choose something else?
That's deep. I'm not gonna answer that question for anybody. I'll leave it on an individual basis. What do you think?
Can I try to answer it?
Yeah, answer.
Okay. I'm sorry to say this.
Answer.
And it goes back to what I said earlier. I think there's a certain, and we can say the marketing, we can say the fact, I don't know, but I think there's a certain strength that a very black man brings that makes him wanted by everybody. I think this is from me looking at what I've seen statistically. It could be wrong, but this is in my mind. I think there's something about, there's some kind of strength that is attached to blackness, right? And I think women want strength from their partner. And there's a certain, I don't want to call it submissiveness, but there's a certain calmness that is marketed as white. So I think that's why a man will want a lighter skinned woman, but I don't know if a dark skinned woman wants warmth from a light skinned guy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
At all? I think
But what do you
she
think
would
she would
choose,
choose that
I think
light?
she would choose extremely black.
Yeah.
Why?
I could be wrong because of that strength that it seems to either be marketed or be factual.
Well,
I don't know.
I think I'll leave it as it's an individual case
True.
basis.
True.
That's what I'll think.
True.
My
I'll
ex-girlfriend that was light skinned, she loved chocolate. She was like, she kept telling me that I'm not black enough for her, but she just loved
Oh!
my skin tone.
Damn, you-
Oh yeah,
you weren't black enough?
Just, you know. So in conclusion,
In
Conclude.
conclusion, I think everyone out there should be proud of who you are and how you were born. If you're dark skin or light skin or whatever you are, be proud of who God created you to be.
Exactly.
And for our people out there, judge people by the content of their character, not the
word.
MLK.
Word.
like that.
That is so true. In my conclusion, I'll say it's very, very important that you appreciate what you have. I don't think any skin tone or preference
defines any human
should be
being.
preferred over another. We shouldn't let society define who we are or what we accept. Like last time I said something in I think one of our episodes, I said people that don't have an opinion of themselves get defined by other people.
That's right.
And when you get defined by somebody else, definitely they're not giving you the best of who you are, who you can
Yeah.
be, because people
Define
don't want you to be
yourself.
better than them. So try to define who you are first and appreciate who and what you are. And black is beautiful.
Amen.
Go ahead.
Yeah, big
Go
chairs.
ahead. Yeah.
I'll conclude and then you can conclude. Adding on to everything that they said, I think it starts within. The question of this topic, the topic is, are light-skinned people more favored than black people in black culture, African culture, and American culture? I think worldwide, the light-skinned people are more accepted worldwide, globally, is what it seems. And that could tie to what Annie said about the marketing of it. It could also tie to what Brother Pascal said, which is what did you say? I can't even remember what you said about, you said the colonial mentality,
Colonial
right?
mentality.
So it could be that as well. But just to kind of put it in perspective, number one, be proud of who you are. I have never been prouder to be black in my life. And I've got to admit, a lot of it had to do with the marketing of black. It feels good. Of course, I've always been proud. The number one thing that made me prouder was my father saying, yeah, it was good. And I've been to Nigeria, so I know the quality of being myself. Also, the marketing does help. And I think it is our responsibility to now present our dark-skinned sisters as beautiful, because they have not been done any favors in multimedia at all.
Not at all.
At all. And I'll leave it at that, but everybody's beautiful. This is not a case about light skin versus dark skin. We're just talking about that specific topic to begin with. But black is extremely beautiful all the time.
I think my brother said most of it. Love and respect yourself. All shades are beautiful. It's your shade, and be proud of that. And I don't think we should have your preference should be your preference or whatever. I'm not going to tell anybody what their preference should be. Whatever your preference is your preference. But I question it when I for example, I went to Santa Barbara a few weeks ago, and I overheard somebody's talking to a young lady saying, "But I'm light skinned though," and I was like, "Wow!" So this is where we're at.
There's a guy talking to
A guy talking to a girl, but I'm light skinned though, and I'm sitting there like, "Whoa," and this is really it makes me question, where we are as a people. Like I really, really, really want to just emphasize the fact that be proud of who you are as a person. I remember growing up, we were talking about that was in high school, being dark skinned wasn't cool all the time, and I think that everybody should be proud of who they are. The shade is your shade. God created us in all different types of ways, in so many flavors, and just be happy in that. And it's like Pascal said, to conclude, it's not about what you look like, it's about who you are. And I've seen beautiful, gorgeous, I love dark-skinned women too. I hate to say that way, but that's because of the way the society has painted it as if light skin is better. But all of them are beautiful in their own way. So, amen.
Real quick, before we change, one thing that I forgot to say. My daughter is light skinned. She's a mulatto child.
Yeah.
Okay? Do you know, in the eyes of kids, they don't know these things that we're talking about. They don't know colors.
They don't know.
Because even that little one, you've seen my daughter.
Yeah.
She's very pretty.
Yeah.
Very pretty. I'm not saying that because she's light skinned, but that's who she is.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know it. Most times she will tell me, "Papa, I'm not that beautiful. My hair is not long enough. She doesn't feel comfortable in her skin to wear her hair out, which I love. I love that flow. It's so beautiful to me. I'm just saying this. When people are in that will tell you that in human person, as a person, we don't know all those things. It's as you grow up, society and the market that makes this thing, that changes this mentality. All right, that's what I want to say.
Cheers.
Beautiful. Chief, you could cheers me.